I don't know that when you have, systemic trauma, where entire countries have collapsed or civilizations have been affected by some change, either militarily or economically or in other ways, even traumatizing ways. I don't think that there is any way to get over that. The only thing that we can do as Africans is to internalize the lessons of colonialism, but there is no way to recover from that. There is no way to recover from slavery effectively. There is no way to recover from from people having lost others in a genocide. The only thing is it affects your art, it affects your language, your music, and if you've lost language because people have died, then that's a loss that's permanent. You don't recover from a lost language. You speak another language, you understand? And that's something you live with. You say, you know what, we don't speak the same language as our ancestors. And it affects us even biologically. Like, if you take all the young men and enslave them in America, or you castrate them when you're taking them to Arabia to work in Asia as slaves, it means there's a part of the population that's been impoverished permanently and genetically, So our gene pool is reduced in a way, or, and of course the stories and the language we talk has symbols and metaphors and history to it, and this becomes part of our daily lived experience. So even children who are not born now, when they are born, are going to be taught about slavery. Or if they are not taught, they're still going to be impacted by the vagaries that slavery created in Africa, which is, it led to colonialism, which then created 55 states. So somebody's going to be born and say he's Kenyan. Well, what does that mean? That is a product of trauma. Identity is a product of trauma. So there is no way to get over any of those things. The only thing is to recognize what has happened and try to live the best life you can within the constraints, or try to make the world better. You have to remember that while there's trauma, there's also good things that are going on, right? And they also have a long-term impact throughout the rest of history after that. So I don't understand when people talk about recovering, because I don't think those things happen. I don't think there's any recovery to be done. I think what happens is that you change because of trauma, and that change becomes part of your culture, or part of your biology, or part of the political economic system you're living in. And the mission for you and for every generation is to make the best situation of the conditions they find themselves in, and to live a better world for their descendants, and to try and cooperate the best way they can with the rest of the world, so that the mistakes that have been made in the past are not carried on in the future. But those mistakes cannot be erased. They cannot be erased. We are living with trauma as human beings that is tens of thousands of years, maybe even millions. And every new trauma leaves its mark on us. Yeah. So I don't expect that there's going to be any recovery from that. I think what is going to happen is that we're just going to adjust and try to do things in a better way to make sure that we don't inflict damage on other people and on our descendants.
Well, let me hear you say, man.